up?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. I'm gonna do a story time. Buckle your seatbelt, boys and girls, it's gonna be a doozy. So, my ex-roommate, we're gonna be talking about her today. This honestly was probably like the worst experience of my life, and I never want to have a roommate again. So this all started when I moved in. I was in Ankeny, and then I moved back to Cedar Rapids, and I didn't have a place to stay, so I decided to go with her. Her name is gonna be Tina for this video, because I don't want to get in trouble. So Tina was my best friend at the time. We did everything together, you know. We told each other everything. So I mean, why not move in together? You know what I mean? Which was such a bad idea now that I think about it. Just be careful who you move in with, especially if it's a tiny apartment. So it all started when she started dating this guy. His name is gonna be Patrick, because I was just thinking about SpongeBob. So his name is going to be Patrick. So I liked Patrick at first. I thought he was really cool. I thought he was really nice. But after a while, he started messaging other girls and hitting them up. And when I said her name. When Tina went on vacation, when she was out of town, when she was visiting her parents. What's it? Patrick? Is that what I chose? Patrick would be messaging other girls and be planning to meet up with them and stuff. Like he said, he was going to go to his parents' house, when in reality he was going to go meet this girl in a different town. That pissed me off, obviously, because she was my best friend, and you know, I cared about her so much, and I didn't want her to be with a douche like that. So I talked to her about it, and the girl messaged her because she looked him up on Facebook. Stop! Hey, stop it! You have a scratching post. She messaged Tina on Facebook saying hey, Patrick messaged me and I was just wondering if you were his girlfriend, because that's kind of sus to see you in his profile. And so she said, yeah, thank you for letting me know, and then they broke up. I definitely made the suggestion to pour cranberry juice on his clothes. So we did that, and we left them outside for him to come get, which he never did, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't want cranberry juice clothes either. But then I don't even know how, but she started talking to him again, and they were hanging out or whatever. And this one night, Tina was there with Patrick and his friend Bob. She went off with Bob while Patrick was at the house, and she had sex with Bob, who is Patrick's best friend at the time, and they lived together. And she and him literally just came back and started hanging out with Patrick again, like nothing happened. And when she told me that, I was my mind was absolutely blown. How do you, I mean, I understand, she's like, well, we're not together, and I'm like, okay, I get that, but that's shitty, that's so shitty. But obviously, yeah, he wasn't too happy about it. But they stayed together anyway. They got back together, eventually. I don't know why. They're obviously not good for each other. It's literally, anyone can see that. And then, so after a while, he did it again. He was messaging other girls. He hid his phone from Tina. Just all the sus things that a cheating boyfriend would do, you know? And it's I already knew. You know, I know that he's a liar. I know that he's lying. You know, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid, okay? he's probably cheating on you again. And she just like didn't believe me or something. She's like, oh, well, you know, and so then she went with him on vacation with 2 of her friends to Virginia? I don't remember. That's how much I care. When they came back, first of all, this will be important later. Literally the morning after that they came back, these people came and knocked on our door, and they're like, hey, is Tina home? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go get her. She literally got her car repossessed because she wasn't paying it off. Like, she barely made rent each month. She would spend all of her money on weed and alcohol and just random shit that, you know, you don't ever need. So I understand. I understand why the car got repoed. She had to share Patrick's shitty-ass car. They still do, actually. They have to share it, and I'm like, as a 21-year-old, not having your own car, that would fucking suck. Oh, it's like, grow up! And, that still just blows my mind how irresponsible she is. Anyway, they were apparently broken up when they got back from Virginia, but he still stayed over and in her bed every night. And you know, I was like, that sounds kind of sus to me. And I was straight up with her. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna be mad at you. I mean, I will be disappointed in you, but you are your own person. You can make your own decisions. Please just be honest with me if you are back together with him. And she's like, no, we're not back together. We're just friends. And I'm like, your friends is he's staying in your bed every single night. And so, like, it just kept going, and he even, like, referred to her as his girlfriend, like, in front of me. And I was like, Tina was like, oh, it's just the force of habit. And I'm like, okay, Eventually, I just got so tired of all the lies and all the bullshit that she was pulling. Like, obviously, you don't consider me a friend if you're just gonna lie to my face every single day, especially when we live together. At this time, I had gotten her a job at my job. So now that I started, you know, saying, like, I don't even care anymore, like, you can f*** off, we still have to work together, which sucks because I hate seeing her face every single day. Her voice hurts my head so much. Her voice hurts my ears. Getting sidetracked. But when I started saying all that, they came back from somewhere. It was really awkward because they were still, like, staying there, and they would, like, invite people over who were, like, mutual friends, and we would, like, be in the living room, and, like, we would be talking to the friends, and they would be talking to those friends, but we wouldn't interact with each other, and that was super awkward. It was awful, and I never want to do that again, ever. After a while, they started staying at Patrick's mommy's house in her basement, which I get. Okay, you know, I had to stay with my dad for a while when I got back, you know, it's, you know, but I'm glad they did because I wanted her to move out so bad, but she still had to pay rent because she was still on the lease. So she was still paying rent. Honestly, I don't even know if she made the last few payments. After a while, I was staying at the apartment, and my boyfriend would come over. After like a week after they moved out, the electricity went off. And so I called the electric company, and I was like, so what's going on? And turns out, Tina had an outstanding balance of over $1,000 in electric bills that she just hadn't paid. And I didn't know about this. Like, apparently the whole time that I was living there, she wasn't paying electricity at all. And so I messaged her, and I'm like, what the actual Like, how did you not pay the electricity? And I don't even know if she responded. Even though she made a payment, it was, I think she made like a $200 payment like a week after I confronted her, and I saw that she made it, and then so I called the electric company and I'm like, so why isn't my electricity back on? And they're like, well, you can put it in your name and then you can pay that off because we provided you your services, and so I would have to take the $1,000 that she didn't pay in order for me to have electricity for like the last month of our lease. And so I literally had to charge my phone, my laptop, anything that I used, I had to charge at work. And I didn't have Wi-Fi, and I don't have unlimited data, and so my dad got super mad at me because I'm still on my dad's phone bill, and I don't pay for that, unfortunately. But I felt really bad because I kept going over. Just wait, guys, the best part's coming up. Once she like moved out, officially, she like sent me this whole message about how like I don't care and how I'm an awful friend and how I don't even remember. I was like, okay. She's like, don't use my stuff. And I'm like, I don't use your stuff anyway. And she's like, don't use my couch, don't use my shower head, don't use my blah 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 blah. That's fucking stupid. You know what? Seriously? And so then the next day I go to work and I come home and the couch cushions are off the couch. I go into the bathroom, the shower head and the shower curtain are gone because I guess, you know, she technically bought them. So she doesn't want me using them. I was using her desk as a makeup, like, vanity, and I come home, and her and Patrick are literally in my room taking it out. They put all my makeup on the floor, and I'm like, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of my room. And then Patrick's like, says you, which, what does that even mean? No, we just started getting in this huge fight, and I was like, just don't touch my stuff. I'm not gonna touch yours, and whatever. And so she started like putting stuff in her room. She put the plates in her room. Oh my god, I'm getting a headache. And so then after like a week of her being gone, I thought it would be funny if I like helped her move by getting all of her shit around the apartment and throwing it in her room. I have a video of her room. Like, you literally couldn't even open the door. There was so much shit in there. Like, she is a hoarder. She's a literal hoarder. And she just has so much stuff. I just threw it in there. I don't even care. I wanted her gone as fast as possible. It was really awkward. She would like look at our schedules to see when Spence and I were like at work, and then she would come in between that time and like take stuff. And this one day we come back and they're moving like all of their furniture out, and I said, oh no honey, we are going to be out first. I am not, because the apartment was trashed because of her. Like, when her and her ex-fiance lived there, it was an absolute shithole. Like, neither of them cleaned. Even when we were living together, like, she never did the dishes, she never vacuumed, she never did anything. Like, I always had to do it. And I had this kitten at the time. Rest in peace, Morty. I went to a music festival. I went to Lost Lands, and I asked her to take care of him. When I come back, no one's there, and I walk into my room, and there is just cat shit all over the floor. He's locked in there, second of all, and the litter box isn't cleaned, and this poor guy looked so sick, and I'm like, I got so mad, and she said that she took care of him, but she obviously didn't. Like, she doesn't care about anything but herself. And I was getting so tired of all of that. So I just, I put all of her stuff in her room, and I'm like backtracking. So when they were moving all of their furniture out, and I came back, I called my stepdad because he has a motherfucking bus, okay? And so I was like, you need to get over here pronto. I'm trying to move out before this bitch does, because I'm not being stuck with this nasty apartment and like having to pay for all of it. So he's like, aight. So he came and he helped me like move my bed and the dining room table and like all my stuff. And just the whole time, well, Patrick, when he first came back, they were like going back and forth, and then they came back and we were there. And I was on the phone with my mom and I was telling her about what was going on, and he comes into my room. He goes, "This petty shit needs to stop." And I'm like, "I'm on the phone." He's like, "You need to fucking quit. You want to fucking fight?" Like, he literally kept trying to fight both Spence and I. And it was like, I'm just trying to like move out. Like, I'm trying to like never see you again. I'm not trying to fight you. And so I just shut the door. I'm like, shut the fuck up. So he just kept getting so mad. And once we started moving everything out, he just kept saying shit, and I lost it, to be honest. I lost it. He kept, you know, Spencer wasn't even saying anything, and he's like, "Let's go outside. Let's go outside. I'll show you. I'll catch these hands." You know, and I got so mad. I got like this far away from his face, and I was like, "You better not fucking talk to him like that. I dare you to fucking punch me, because you have the problem with me. Do it." He goes, "Get out of my face." And I'm like, "See, you won't do it because," oh my god, I'm getting so heated. So basically, I told him to punch me because he was threatening to do it, and I said do it, which he didn't, but I wish he would have. I forgot. Once they like left, like they were done for the day, the cat's bowls that we had at the time, we had 4. We still have them. This the ones that I showed in my first video. All their bowls were empty, and so I went to go put food in the bowl, and the bag, we have like this huge bag. We get the huge like 18-pound one, and the whole thing was empty, and like I had just bought it, and so I was like, no. And so I go and I look in the trash can, and they dumped all the cat food in the trash can. And I'm like, I get that you have a problem with me. I get it. But what did the cats do to you? Like, why are you so pressed that you bring the cats into this? Like, they're cats. They don't even know what's going on, you know? They don't know anything, and you're making them suffer. Like, really? 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 And just, it is amazing how childish grown-ups can be. Well, I guess, 21. How adults, supposedly adults, can be that childish. I blocked her on my Twitter, I blocked her Insta, and I made this tweet about how I wanted her fired, which was true. I mean, no lie there. From one of our friends, they told me that she made a completely new Twitter just to look at my tweets and try to get me in trouble. And she goes to our general manager and shows him that tweet. And he has to talk to me. And I'm like, I do want her fired. I won't tweet about it again, but she sucks. After that, I was just like, I don't even care. I'm not even going to talk about her, because every time I talk about her, I just get a headache. But I thought this would be a really good video idea, so I decided to talk about it one more time. God, I'm just so glad I'm out of that situation. That household was so toxic. Like, it just made me sad being there. And like, if I drive over there now, which I guess I haven't, but when we went back for the last time to see if we left anything, I went and I saw a plant that I left in the window, and so I was like, I'm gonna get that. And so the key that we put was still in the mailbox, and so we unlocked it, and when we opened that door, she left so much crap. She left her fish tank, she left lamps, she left her bed, she left some clothes, she left a bookshelf, she left a million hangers, and just the whole place was just trashed. And I just wanted to check. I'm like, I bet she trashed my room. She did. She threw a bunch of hangers on the floor. I mean, my room was spotless, okay? There was nothing wrong with my room. And I guess she had like moldy cookies in her room or something, because there were a bunch of moldy cookies on my floor from like Christmas. And this is like, what, July that this happened? So from Christmas to July, she had those cookies in her room, I guess, and she found them and thought it'd be funny to throw them in my room. Obviously, I like put gloves on because like, ew, and I threw them back in her room. And I messaged my landlord, and I'm like, just to let you know, when you walk into this apartment, none of this was me. My bedroom is on the left, and everything is Tina. I didn't want to pay for it. You know, I was just a sublease. I subleased from her ex-fiance, so all of that wasn't my fault. You know, I walked in on this. This isn't my fault. My dad's a lawyer, and he's like, well, you have to give him your forwarding address and, you know, all that stuff, but I didn't want to because I didn't want to have to pay for anything, which I didn't, thank God. But I feel so bad for our landlord because, one, he has to deal with all of that. Two, he has to take everything to the dump and clean everything. And three, you can't rent out that apartment until the electricity bill is paid. And I can guarantee that she still hasn't paid for it because she keeps going on vacations, and I see, you know, friends are talking about her and how they're, you know, smoking and drinking and partying and like, I just don't understand. She still doesn't have a car either. I think I already said that, but she has to wait for her boyfriend sometimes to come pick her up from work. I get that not everyone has a car, but I have the same job as you. I have a car. I have an apartment. I am stable with money. You know, it's either you're a really shitty server or I'm just a really good one. Probably both. No! No! They always knock that over! Thanks for listening to my rant, guys. I really needed to get that off my chest because I've just been angry, so I figured just let it all out there. Good vibes from here. Thank you so much, everyone. Deuces.